This is a ghost bike for Dr. Naji Kayruz. He was killed a little over 2 years ago in February of 2019 by a motorist here on the highway outside of I-10.
Mark and Dr. Naji Kayruz were teammates on the HEB bike team.
We both rode together on the HEB bike team, although probably shouldn't say we rode together. He was a natural athlete, I am not, and so he was a fast rider. He represented Lebanon in the 1980 Olympics in Moscow in judo. Incredible athlete. Well, he was also a gifted surgeon and really revered in the community. Holy cow, his funeral was standing room only at a great big auditorium at the Maronite Church.
Mark walked me through what he knew about the scene of the accident.
Well, first of all, I wish the media would quit calling it an accident, because it really isn't, right? It's an accident is when something, you trip and fall over something or whatever. It's not an accident. But the other thing is that, it's an odd thing in our society. You can hit and kill, you can get impaired behind the wheel of a 3,000-pound vehicle and hit and kill somebody, and it's manslaughter. But if you take a gun or a knife and kill somebody, that's a whole different kind of thing, right? And so I wish we'd stop calling it an accident, and I wish it would be treated, especially for repeat offenders, as the crime it really is.
Mark knows this section of road so well that when news of the accident broke out, people thought it was him and reached out to him.
I ride out here 4 or 5 times a week and have for years. And a part of the reason I ride out here is because it's fairly straight, it's fairly flat, and there's a nice wide shoulder. And he literally was riding along. I would assume in the shoulder. I don't know the details of the accident, but I would assume in the shoulder because he always was a very careful rider. No reason to be out of the shoulder, honestly. The driver hit him and drug him a while and actually went all the way off the road. The tracks were still here the next day. How it's important to be aware of your surroundings all the time. A lot of times, I know runners, for example, get kind of in the zone where they kind of are not really paying attention to what's happening around them, and they might trip and fall or step off the sidewalk or whatever, but for a cyclist, that can truly be a very fatal mistake. So I'm not suggesting that happened in this case at all. I'm just saying, be aware, be always conscious, always hyper-vigilant of what's happening, and constantly maintaining situational awareness.
So the big reason I wanted to meet up with Mark Noblitt was because I saw on Facebook that he likes to take new cyclists out to the Ghost Bike Shrine for Dr. Naji Kayruz.
I always like to bring any new riders that I bring by this place over here, and we stop. I think it's important to keep his memory alive. That's part of it. I think it's also important to raise the awareness in the cycling community about how dangerous impaired drivers can be, and about how it's just really important to pay attention to what you're doing and be as safe as you possibly can all the time.
I want to thank Mark for his time and recollections, and the trial for the suspected driver in this situation is due to start later this month. San Antonio cycling community would like to thank the North Park Subaru and Lexus dealerships at the Dominion for allowing the Ghost Bike to stay on their property. And I've even heard that the groundskeepers come out and take care of the flowers and kind of keep up the shrine.